Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. We at the Shul Young Israel, we had a very wonderful, successful week. We reached our campaign goal, our online fundraiser of $180,000. It was the largest goal we had ever set. It was ambitious. It was a stretch. We weren't 100% sure we would make it, but thank you, because of the entire community, we did. And it's an incredible accomplishment. And Yasher Koach and Mazel Tov. A few quick thank yous. Who deserve much longer thank yous. Thank you to the generous matchers who got us halfway there to $90,000, who got us going so that we could match that $90,000 and get to $180,000. Thank you very much. Thank you to every single person who donated, who contributed. The day of the campaign, every single contribution is appreciated. Besides for reaching our highest total dollar amount, we increased the number of donors by more than 50%, which is also an incredible accomplishment that we are so proud of and appreciative of. Thank you for the ambassadors, the team of people that were promoting and reaching out to others. Many people deserve specific recognition, but I want to thank Eli in particular, who really led that team of ambassadors, reaching out and making sure everyone heard about the campaign and encouraging people to participate. And of course, overseeing the entire effort was Jackie Brenner. She was working many weeks in advance. She's still working now in the bookkeeping after the fact. And on that note, I want to thank Chaim and Carol in the office for their additional support. This is an extra load on them. We need to say thank you to them as well. And again, to Jackie, she was really selfless for the shul in many ways that only I know. And if you see Jackie, when you see her, please tell her thank you and congratulations. I now share a very brief Dvar Torah in honor of this achievement. Rav Soloveitchik pointed out that there are two sources in the Torah for the Sanhedrin, the concept, the idea that there is a high court. One source in Parsha Shoftim, the Parsha begins there, Shoftim v'shotrim titim lecha b'chol sharecha, there should be judges in every city. Ki palei mimcha davar l'mishpat, and when there's a question, when there is a dispute, when there's something unknown, you will go to the chosen place, and you will go to the judge, and you will follow his ruling. Follow the judge's ruling, the authority's ruling, the Sanhedrin, the high court. But another source of the Sanhedrin comes from this week's Parsha. After a series of complaints, culminating with the Jewish people complaining about the man, Moshe tells Hashem, Lo uchal anochi levari lasetes kol ha'amazeh. I can't carry this burden alone. Ki chavevi mani, it is too heavy. And so Hashem tells Moshe, Esfali shivim ish miziknei Yisrael. Gather 70 elders. V'hisyatzavu shamimach, and they will stand with you. V'nasu idcha b'masa'am, and they will carry the burden of the people with you. This is an additional source of the 70 elders, which later became known as the Sanhedrin. This is the source for the number 70, and other halachos for the Sanhedrin are derived from this parsha. Rav Soloveitchik explained that there are two sources in the Torah because the Sanhedrin serves two roles. There are two aspects to their positions, and therefore two different parshas that accentuate each one. On the one hand, the Sanhedrin is the final halachic arbiter. They're vested with the authority that when there's a dispute amongst the sages of Israel, or a new question arises, that it is brought to their attention, and they discuss it, and they research it, and they debate it, and ultimately they vote, and based on the majority, the halacha is decided. And that is an official authority that only they have. But in addition, besides for being the final halachic authorities and the greatest sages of Torah wisdom, they also were meant to be a body that was a group of leaders of the Jewish people that, as this parsha describes, carried the burden of the Jewish people. The Sanhedrin also were involved in approving the choice of a king or approving a decision to go to war. They set the calendar, which included halacha considerations, but also considerations of the crops and the farmers and the roads. And in general, they would have been leaders in the people. People would go to them with their questions for advice, for support. They were not just a halachic computer, but they're meant to be spiritual and communal leaders. They're meant to carry the burden of the people. They're meant to listen to the complaints of the people. And so in Parsha Shoftim, their role as final halachic arbiters is stressed, but in our Parsha, Parsha Beha'alotecha, the reason why Hashem told Moshe to gather 70 elders was not to help him decide halachic matters. Moshe didn't need help decide halachic matters, and that's not the context. The context was the people were complaining about the food, and Moshe couldn't carry that emotional burden himself. And so Hashem says, don't worry, there will be a Sanhedrin. There will be 70 elders, and they will help carry the people with you, help lead the people with you in settling disputes and listening to questions, listening to complaints, nothing to do with making halachic decisions. It's interesting, the story continues in our parsha. And Moshe gathers these 70 elders. A certain spiritual spirit rests upon them. And then there are two additional people, Eldad and Medad, who begin prophesying, who stand up with these 70. And at first, Yoshua is insulted. Moshe picked 70. You were not included. Who are they to want to be part of this elite group? And Yoshua goes to Moshe, and Moshe tells him, don't worry. Let them be. Let them prophesize. Let them be part of the group. If all of Israel would be part of the group, they would be welcome. The Sanhedrin was an official body, again, vested with authority to make halachic decisions binding upon the people. And that was a group limited to 70. You can't add more people. You can't volunteer to be part of that group. There has to be a limited number of people who have that official position and that official power. But when it comes to the second aspect of the Sanhedrin, to be a leader doesn't mean a public position, but to be someone who wants to support the community, to serve the community, to be a shoulder that others can lean on. Others can join. That does not have to be limited to 70 people. Anyone can be a leader in that regard. Anyone can, as Hashem told Moshe, "V'hisiyatzavu sham imach," and they will stand with you. Anyone who would want to come and stand with Moshe, say, I am here to stand with Moshe. Anyone is invited. Anyone is invited in a community, in our community, to be a leader. Again, not necessarily in a public role, if that's not what is wished, but to put away chumashim and siddurim after davening, to help set up or clean for Kiddush, to help organize events, to give suggestions and helpful ideas. Those are ways, if by serving the community, you are a leader of the community. Anyone who wants to stand with us, so to speak, is invited. And today, this week, everyone who joined the shul, we thank you. V'hisiyatzavu sham imach. Everyone, we were standing together. Everyone is invited. Let the entire nation be included, as Moshe Rabbeinu said. That is the idea of our parsha, of the Sanhedrin in our parsha. It is those people who stand up to lead, and whoever wants to stand up and lead, to contribute, to serve the community, to donate, again, financially, with time, with ideas. As Moshe taught Yehoshua, everyone is invited, and everyone is welcome. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you very much to everyone. Yasher Koach and Mazel Tov.